Hello guys, welcome back to our N8N tutorials. Now, since we have already explained the workflow that we are going to be working with, and that's going to involve Gmail, Google Sheets, and Google Drive, now we can straight dive into making the workflow. So here we have a clean canvas. First of all, add the Google Drive node. On changes involving a specific folder, let's just select the folder later on. And here we have the Google Drive node. Along with this, we will also be making a workflow so that we get a better idea of how the workflow goes on like, and what's the structural composition that it's made of. So yeah, here I have one box, and it's gonna be the new invoice box because this is where we're gonna receive the invoice. Now let's make it a little large. Font size XL. Yep, this is cool. And I can increase it this way. Yeah, yeah. So we're gonna receive a new invoice from Google Drive. Now, once we receive the new invoice, which will be a trigger for this particular node, we're gonna have to define what exactly this does and how exactly it looks like. So let's yep. So what we're gonna do is, what do the invoices look like? We're gonna have to ask some questions to make sure that we're clear with the idea of what we're doing. So, what kind of invoices we have to deal with? This is one of the first questions. And next question that we can have is like, where do they go exactly? Once we get the invoices in workflow, I mean in the Google Drive, where exactly they go after this? There has to be certain place that they go, and which leads us to ask that wherever they'll go, what are the actions that we will be taking on them? And having defined the actions that we're going to take on them, let's add the frequency. What will be the frequency of receiving those invoices? What will be the frequency of sending those invoices further in the workflow, etc. Yep. So this is our very first step. We define a node that's going to receive the Google Drive documents, the invoices. Okay, now let's define what's exactly the purpose of doing this. We want that the details or the fields from the documents of invoices are extracted, because not necessarily they're going to be in a consistent format. They might not be in a consistent format. And when I say not consistent format, what I refer to is the difference in the placing of different details in different documents. So let's say there's this first document that we're receiving. There's a name written over the top. then there's the billing information, then there's date, and then there's address. But in some other documents, it might be something different. We might have the subject in the first place. We might have date over the next. And this way, the placing of information is not consistent. So this is what I mean by consistent format. So when the format is not consistent, we just cannot we just cannot use some other methods to extract the information. Like we cannot hard code, we cannot make strict rules to extract the information that's not consistent. So what we are doing is we're gonna setting up an AI agent that's gonna learn and interpret the essence of that particular document. And this will be the best method because the AI is gonna make sure that it knows the meaning of that particular field or detail, so, and that's how it will extract those. So yeah, this is just some theory about what we are doing and why we are doing it in this particular way. So yeah, we're gonna use an AI. We're gonna use an AI to extract the information. And once we extract the information, the invoice will be updated to the Google Sheets, which is going to be called as invoice DB. So it's as simple as that. Once the information is extracted, it's going to be sent to the Google Sheets, which is our database, and inserted over there. Okay, so once you receive the document from Google Drive, we're going to be so yeah, once you receive the documents from Google Drive, we're gonna be using the document to extract the text from within. Now let's learn about this in the next video. Still and stay tuned and stay curious about learning about AI agents.